So who appointed this white woman as the expert on the so-called black experience? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we're going to talk about Joy Behar from The View commenting on what it's like to be a black person. And to be more exact, she's saying, hey, you know what? This person and this person, Clarence Thomas, Tim Scott, etc., they don't really know what it's like to be a black person. They are not really giving you the full black experience. Now, this is pretty confusing coming from an obvious white woman. I'm not really sure how she's able to comment on a thing like that. But, you know, you're talking about a white liberal woman. This is not really uncommon. There's a lot I want to say about this because I get so much flack about being a conservative from black folks, from white folks, from everybody. But I'm told that I'm doing it for the white audience. How am I doing it for the white audience when half of whites vote for Republicans and the other half vote for Democrats? It makes no sense at all. But before I go down that rabbit hole and express my personal viewpoints, let's go ahead and roll the clip. If you want to see it in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you are on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And he's one of these guys who, you know, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it. Neither does Clarence.
Can I pause right here? I don't like the whole inclusion of other minorities. Okay, I'm a black person. I speak for me, Anthony, and then you could attach the black experience to me. But other minorities, what does that even mean? You talking about the LGBT? I'm not LGBT. I'm not Hispanic. I'm not some other kind of thing. I'm me, and I'm obviously a black male, and that's it. Ain't nothing else to it. So don't try to add stuff in there.
Right. And that's why they're Republicans. Yeah.
All right. So you got this Hispanic woman right here, Asuncion, and then you have this lady right here, quote unquote, Joy. I think her name is Evelyn or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, these two people are right here are not really black, and they're talking about what it's like to be black and a black male. To me, it doesn't really make any sense. And the audience is laughing. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a moment. Let's keep on going here.
I know.
So that was the end of that clip. I have a lot to say. But before I get into my opinion about what she said, from dealing with women just like that for a very long period of time, let's take a look at what Byron Donalds has to say. Now, Byron Donalds is a black male conservative. You see that little picture right there? Hold on. See, they just showed something right there. You see that right there? That is Joy Behar during her best version of blackface. Maybe I'll place that on the screen in post edit. But Byron Donalds is obviously a black conservative from Brooklyn originally, who now resides in Florida. He's in Congress, who may become president one day. Maybe he's a vice president alongside Donald Trump coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Let's hear his take on it.
Listen, Joy Behar doesn't understand that she is a buffoon. She's paid to spew these things. Nobody really pays attention to anything that she believes in or she talks about. And this is also, she sounds good on the Upper West Side, but the rest of America looks at her and says she is utterly ridiculous. I don't even know why her opinions even carry the level of weight that they do. Frankly, they really don't. But it's just a ridiculous opinion. She's never walked a day in Tim Scott's shoes or in my shoes or any other black person in America. So she needs to just sit down, stay in her lane, tell some jokes, but this is not an area for her to comment.
Very well said, Byron Donalds. Very well said. Shout out to you. Very, very well said. Now, I have a lot to say, actually, because obviously I'm black, I'm conservative, I'm a male, so I can, I guess you say, relate to your Byron Donalds, your Tim Scott, your Clarence Thomas, etc. And I've been hearing a lot of what Joy Behar said from both blacks and whites. Let me just start from the top. I get a lot of criticism from black people on the internet talking about, oh, ABL, you're Captain America. You wearing that 1776 hat. You got them flags in the background. Your messaging is not right for the black community. You can't get black folks to come vote for Republicans by messaging that way. Well, What about what she's talking about? Is that good messaging to get people like me to come to her side? Now, I'm never going to do that because I have a brain that works, okay, and I use it. I use my head for more than a hat rack. I will never go to her side, but if I was open to leaning more liberal from my point of view right now, I would not go over there by having her insult me talking about, oh, they don't know what it's like to be black and they don't understand the experience. How dare she say something like that? You see, that's not good messaging at all. I just come with the truth. I talk about reality, facts, things you can actually look up, things that happen, historical, actual facts, things that are going on right now, things that can be proven statistically, factually, videotape, audio tape, all of that. She's talking about we don't have the experience. We don't understand what it's like to be black. So that for messaging is not a problem. That's not an issue. And the same thing with your man Joe Biden talking about, hey, if you don't know, if you don't vote for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. That's also not bad messaging. We still voted for this guy at a 90% rate. So explain to me, what is the messaging problem really? Is it about me and what I say and how I'm not really defending the black community? Is that what it is? Or is it because I'm conservative and I automatically get ignored by the majority of the black community? It's not about me trying to defend a white man or be white, because just as many white folks vote for the left as they do the right. It's simple as that. And to be totally honest, when you look at exit poll data from elections recently, I think from the most recent one, maybe the midterms of the 2020, you have more whites that vote Democrat than Republican as you skew younger. They vote more Republican than Democrat once they skew older. And that's how Republicans win a lot of these races, is by the beyond 55 vote, because those are the ones who show up to actually vote. When I go midterm elections around here, it's a sea full of gray hair. It's a sea full of gray hair, mostly elderly white people voting. And there's no restrictions that keeps black folks from voting. I mean, you got to show an ID. Everybody has an ID. We all have cars. We all go do things. We can go to the club and show an ID for that. We can go to the liquor store and show ID for that. We go to the restaurants, show ID when we want to get a margarita or a wine or something like that. We have no problem doing that. Then when it comes time to voting, there shouldn't be a problem there. Showing the same ID you showed in the club the night before. You went and got drunk, almost crashed your vehicle because you were driving drunk, and you showed your ID before you started drinking. So why can't you do that in the actual voting booth as well? There's no restrictions. It's just that your elderly white folks are going to be more involved with voting than everybody else. So a lot of times that's how Republicans win. But the actual numbers say that more whites who are young vote Democrat. So how does it make sense to say that I'm trying to support the white man by voting Republican? It does not make any sense. These are just things people have in their mind that are not really rooted in reality. The same way that Joy Behar is able to try to criticize black men for not really being black or not acting black, ridiculous things. These things don't make sense, but they're in the minds of the Joy Behar and quite a few white liberals, really. A lot of the criticism I get for being conservative comes from white people. Online is crazy. Like, Facebook is the worst place for that. I done been called every kind of Uncle Tom, every other racial slur. I done been hit with the N-word from white liberals because I'm conservative, more than anybody else. But then I still get told you have bad messaging. You're trying to cater to the white man. These things don't make any sense. And what she did right there is proof positive that these white liberals think that way, because she said it. Nobody on the stage checked her, and the crowd was applauding. And I guarantee you, most of that crowd, probably 90% white women, they feel the same way. So it is what it is. You know, I'm not a racist person. I just go for what makes sense for me, for those that are around me. That's pretty much it. I don't really care too much about that color thing. That seems to be an issue that those on the outside have a problem with, especially those who are on the left. Everything, as I close, I'm gonna wrap it up. Everything on the left is race, 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 race. Everything. That's what it's about. But then they will gaslight you. They will project onto you, if you're on the right, that you are the racist. You are the white supremacist. You could be a black person, look just like me, okay, come straight from the United States, Africa, Caribbean, South America, wherever you come from. You'll get called a white supremacist directly from a white person, judging you because of your race, judging you because of your actions, calling you a racial slur, but then they'll say you're the racist. Make that make sense. I don't think you're able to, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Joy Behar said on The View? How you feel about Byron Donald's response? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. What Joy Behar said is pretty much typical from the left, especially your white female liberals. That's really common. I get that all the time. Facebook messages and whatnot, they do it all the time, but they're usually not brave enough to go on television and say it, okay? And they probably wouldn't say it to somebody's face. I don't think Joy Behar is going to be able to come to a Tim Scott and say that right in front of his face. I mean, maybe she would, because she's been emboldened by those that are around her. Whoopi Goldberg, Asuncion, the Hispanic black lady, whatever she wants to call herself, okay? They have emboldened her. They are not checking her. They're giving her a round of applause. She thinks everything's cool. She thinks things are sweet. So then she'll go to a person like myself and be outwardly racist and not even feel bad about it. And as a matter of fact, she'll think she's doing the right thing while I'm doing the wrong thing. We live in a crazy, upside down, bizarro world. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.